Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA. Let's talk about what has happened to the king in the markets, what we can expect moving forward into tomorrow and the rest of the weekend. Yeah, if you enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice, and I am not a financial advisor. I almost forgot my intro there. But again, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, well, again, guys, I share my thoughts, post updates every single day as the market's open. Definitely check that out. That link is, of course, down below in the description of the video. Click that link. You get access to this page. It's at the top of the description. You get access to this page to join if you wish. $3 a month. That's all it is. Just all my Tesla updates, broader market updates, the options flow, different time frame analysis, which also includes things like SPY, VIX, right? Things like that. $5, of course, includes Nvidia if you're interested in Nvidia updates, and of course $7 a month includes the full package. You also get access to my tier 3 posts on YouTube, essentially non-Nvidia, non-Tesla stocks that are setting up in the market that have something meaningful or worthwhile, and access to our private Discord. We have a tier 3 chat room, a pretty active one as well. A lot of people sharing thoughts, day trading questions. Obviously I type in there as well myself. And every single Sunday, I do chart requests with members from tier 3, of course. So yeah, jumping into it, Nvidia down almost 4% on the day, with the Qs down 2%. So Nvidia, definitely feeling a bit of that pain over here. Now it's going to be 5 essentially red candle closures in a row. Again, you have to remember, a red candle closure isn't necessarily because the price closed lower than the previous day. A red candle, at least with the way I have it set up in the kind of default way, is it just closed lower than it opened. But this is 5 times in a row. And again, if you just zoom out, it doesn't happen very often where there's this many candles. Like, you have to look back. I mean, there was 4 over here. You have to look back, I guess, to over here, arguably, right, where there was 5 in a row before Nvidia finally bottomed out and had at least some level of a bounce. So the point I'm just trying to make, and there's one over here too, the point I'm trying to make is the fact that the stock, is most likely due for a bounce probably tomorrow. I'll be completely honest with you, right? But interestingly enough, we're also coming into a very key level. Now, AMD reported earnings down about 3% after hours, which really isn't honestly that bad. I think AMD is coming right into support here at about 240, which isn't that bad. But conveniently enough, Nvidia, where is it coming into? Well, I mean, today it held the 9 EMA, but it's now coming into that 195 level. I mentioned to me this kind of 195 to 200 range over here, this $5 range, is ideally the range for the bulls to hold. Now, if we start losing this range, and I'll go over that obviously next, but to me, yeah, the ideal scenario, this range right here, pretty much roughly where we are after hours, maybe give or take maybe another dollar lower, 195 roughly, which was this pivot point here. Turning this into a support and then heading higher would be the ideal scenario. And then maybe from here we start setting up, maybe some price action over here, ends up setting up some kind of, wedge, bull flag type situation, which will give us a bit more information overall as well. And that's when we can start getting stronger kind of clues, if you will, as to what the stock overall actually wants to do. But just strictly looking at support levels, support resistance levels, yeah, 195 is that next level to watch for, guys. This is that range that I think tomorrow, I think the bulls will start showing up. Now, of course, if it doesn't go out that nicely, and if maybe the bulls don't start showing up, maybe things don't go as well, and we start losing 195, and we start turning 195 into resistance, then below that, because it 21 EMA is already starting to curl because the price is coming down to it, so it's not like coming up to us as aggressively anymore since the price is kind of coming back to it, right? Makes sense. Below 195, hey, the stock likes those $5 movements, guys. 191 to 190. This right around here will be that next level of support below 195. So watch for 195 tomorrow. Worst case scenario, 190. I do think 195 should hold, personally speaking, but you never know. Again, in a market like this, especially with the AMD earnings, we'll see what kind of reaction we get. But I really would be surprised if we lose 195 in this one kind of go straight down. That would be a little surprising to me. But again, to me, the worst case scenario is 190. That's also where the 21 EMA is sitting. And that's where we do have even stronger support, because here we have, two kind of, wicks, if you will, 2 candles of pivots, if you will, 195 that, was a resistance. Now, of course, theoretically supports, but we have stronger support at 190, right? Look at all these candles over here that treated about that 190, 191 region as a resistance, right? Now that level, especially combined with that 21 EMA, yeah, should be some pretty powerful support coming in as well. So I do think Nvidia is definitely getting close to at least a bounce, right? At the very least, a bounce, if not potentially a stronger potential bottom around this general region, and then we head higher, most likely into earnings, is my kind of current estimate, if you will. But again, I want to see how price action develops here. I don't think we'll just touch it right here and just rock it the next day. We'll touch it, get some bounces, maybe some more consolidation, maybe even a quick visit to 190. But ultimately, I do want to see some level of, price action within this region, and I want to see like a bullish type of wedge form. That looks maybe something like this, give or take, of course, right? Maybe something like here. Let me, something like this. Something like that, give or take, of course. This is kind of what I want to see, right? Nice looking, beautiful bull flag, bull wedge, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the same result for the most part. But that's roughly what I'm looking for next, right? Now, on the bounce, you have to remember, I don't think this bounce will be it. I think, if we do find that bounce from here, which I currently expect us to, I don't think this will be like the bounce. I think we'll come up here, down here, come up, reject probably around 200 to 201, maybe come back down, get some more consolidation. But then this bounce here will set up that second candle to where we can draw this kind of bullish wedge trend line off of, which will connect from this initial one here. Then again, if we get that bounce into that trend line, that'll set up that second touch point. We'll be able to position that trend line better, and then most likely reject, get some stronger consolidation, and then as we head within a week or so within earnings, I think we'll pop out and make a run for it higher into earnings. That's just my current expectation. If I were to lay out my current game plan as to what I believe will happen, something along the lines of that is what I personally expect. Now, let's see, guys. Let's see. We never know for sure. But this combined with a few factors in the market, assuming the market doesn't poop itself, which, we'll see, it's looking pretty likely, right? Because, again, the market's now retesting previous all-time highs at 674, also at the 21 EMA here. Now, it did lose the trend line and it turned it back into a resistance, which is a bit of a problem. That can signal some issues potentially. But one thing that's also interesting to note is the 4-hour SMI. The market on SPY, it's right near the bottom of the range, guys. If I zoom out over here, and this is what I was talking about on my Tesla video, and I also mentioned to my members, for the majority of this year, since pretty much like March or something like that, I think, right? May actually, right? Every time the 4-hour SMI was near the bottom of the range, just line it up with where the SMI is and the price was. Not this one here, right? And now we're here once again. Each time, again, line it up. It's been pretty much at or damn close to the bottom in the markets. Is this going to be just a repeat? It very well could be. Let's see if it is or not, right? But for the most part, the risk reward, in my opinion, when the SMI is down here for the markets, it starts to favor the bulls more aggressively. You're not buying this, very extended market that it was very extended. Remember up here, I mentioned how we were starting to get pretty distant from the 9 EMA. Now we're starting to, develop something a little more meaningful. By the way, if we break above this trend line again, I will be deleting this trend line because at that point, there's just too many invalidations and it's just at that point kind of useless if we're just going up and down below it, above it, and it just serves no real purpose, right? But from a bullish perspective, similar to what Nvidia is setting up, actually, I view SPY setting up a little bit of a potential bull flag over here. Check this out, right? Nice little move to the upside. Nice little bull flag down here to the 21 EMA. 4-hour SMI near the bottom. Do we just head higher from here? Let's see, guys. Let's see, right? Let's see. But, if there's a place for the bulls to start coming in on the broader market, pretty much right around here. If there's a place for the bulls to start coming in for Nvidia, yeah, pretty much right around here. It's lining up. Things are lining up pretty nicely. Let's see if it plays out in such a way or not. But that's kind of how I see it right now. Nvidia options flow. Let's see what's happening here. What's happening. Some puts came in towards the end of the day, most likely playing the Nvidia or the AMD earnings. Nvidia moving in sympathy, of course, which so far they seem to be correct. Nvidia is down almost 1%, we'll say. So they seem to be pretty correct on that so far. But for the most part, it was just a very steady flow of more bullish than bearish. It was definitely more mixed today than usual, but still overall call flow was near 30 million, while put flow was around 11 million. So the bulls are still overall dominating. But it definitely wasn't as convincing as some of the previous days we have seen overall on Nvidia. So let's see how this plays out, guys. That's kind of what I see moving forward. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Peace.